up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Trading Live with Bubba. What's going on? And a little action today is if you listen to the update every morning I send out, I said this was a stone cold sale earlier when the futures were up big. But in the meantime, there has been a couple of opportunities. We weren't together, so we won't dwell on them. But that's what we're looking for. Those are the types of trades that we are looking for here. Right now, we're kind of quiet. So we'll see. There's been some rushes here. I would think now that the lows are probably in, just from looking at an overall standpoint. We've been very oversold for a couple of days, and I think now you probably have seen the potential lows here for a while. Again, it doesn't mean forever. But certainly, I would expect a reasonable bounce back in in all the markets that have been hammered. S&P, I'd expect it to go back to 6,100 here, and we'll see what that looks like. Just make sure we're not missing anything here. Still kind of quiet, so certainly we're not going to get obviously overly aggressive here. We're still going to be patient and wait. We did have a couple of trades earlier this morning. But again, it has to be some patience here. So as we'll take a look at our board, Apple, which we did say was a sale on Tuesday, okay, has come down and has come back to the mean. Pretty good trade. Amazon, we thought was a buy on Tuesday. Pretty good trade. Right now, there's not much to do. Coin, which we thought was a buy, but we said to hold off on it, but it is coming back off a little bit. So again, I would look at it closer now as a potential spot to sell some put spreads. I think that's a reasonable look. In fact, I'm going to look at it right now myself while we're hanging out here. And these would be all the trades we're doing in these markets would be for the set for March 7th. Let's see, so 212, 210. 212, 210 for $1.10. Yeah, I could do that. I could live with that. 212, 210 for $1.10. We'll work that one out here. And crowd, which we did the other day, got a nice little bounce. Okay, again, remember, we're just looking at probability. We're not deciding on is there news or something going on. We're just simply playing an overall probability model. Okay. And I think it's important for everybody to understand that is exactly what we're trying to find is the right probability. Meta, we did not trade, but it did bounce as we thought it might. Okay. Again, I'm not going to make every single trade that I show you. I will always tell you exactly what trades I'm going to make. And I chose to pass on that. But again, it was the right trade from the pattern. Google is now becoming to that spot, and certainly I would be looking at Google. In fact, I'm going to go and look at it now. Google Golf Oscar Golf Lima. Okay, and let's see here for March 7th. There's not enough juice in this right now. I don't want to sell the 170, but I'm going to pass. Not enough interest for me in this right now, so we'll pass on that for now. But it is one to keep an eye on. IWM, certainly one worth looking at. Normally a little bit thin on volumes or on price, but let's just take a look and see what it looks like for today. Now this one I'd be doing for today. Okay, IWM the 27th. I'm going to sell the put spreads. Yeah, there's not enough premium for me to go ahead and sell that, so we'll pass on that. MSC, Microsoft. Again, when we looked at the other day, we did not take. I think now might be an opportunity to look here. Let's see what Microsoft looks like. And SFT. Okay. And for the 7th, $395, $392.50. If you can get a buck for it, I would look at that for $1. I'm putting my order in now. Okay. And then let's just go back and make sure we're not missing anything here. No, not really. Again, kind of quiet. Was busy, had a couple of moments of action, but now it's kind of quiet, so we'll sit back and wait. Let's go back to here and MSTR. This is a play on Bitcoin. This is a wild mamma jamma. Let's see what it looks like. Take a look at it. MSFT. MSFT. I mean, this could go. This has got a huge IV. MSTR. Excuse me. I put the wrong symbol in. But I would be selling put spreads here for next week, and the 250, 247 for $1. I would do that as well. 250, 247 for $1. That would work for me. And let's just go back and again so I don't miss out. Again, kind of drifting here a little bit, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a much sharper rally showing up. Let's take a look at where was I here? MSTR Nugget. Oops, wrong screen, kids. Sorry. Wrong screen. Let me clean myself up here. Okay, now we'll go here and Nugget getting creamed, which we had talked about last week. Again, now you're getting to a point where you might want to do the other side, but there's nothing to do right here. NVIDIA earnings came out, just hovering around the mean. Not much to do here. The Qs, Quebec. Certainly, I would look at selling some put spreads for today. Okay, once again, this would be for today. We did the ones we did on Tuesday, one cashed. Okay, and so we look at the 27th, and let's see. Now, if I do these, I'm going to go right at them. I'm going to use the 511, 510, okay, and that is for about 42 cents that I would be willing to take a look at. Okay, and let's see here what we got. SMCI, nothing to do right now. XYZ, which is the old square. This is one to take a look at as well. If you want to, again, I don't know how many trades you want to put on, and let's just see what else is developing, if anything here. Not really. You get markets that are pretty much in a consolidating pattern right now, which would suggest that they're going to make a bigger move, and I would think that move would be more than likely to be higher. Let's see here. The SPY, same as the Qs, which I'd be willing to sell. Let's see what they look like for today. SPY. Again, I always go right at them because I believe that if I can get 40%, or 40 cents per dollar, okay, then I'm going to be, I can have a number of trades that don't work out, okay, over time. So I'm going to do I'm putting in the 593, 592. Right now it's trading at about 37 cents, but I'm going to work 40 and see if we get just a little push down here. And Tesla's certainly one to look at. It continues to get clobbered. Let's see what Tesla looks like for next week. For the 7th. And if we look at the 285, 282.50 for $1.05, yeah, I would look at that. Okay, and let's see where we're at here. When nothing, And then Zoom is a potential buyer. I'm going to pass on this. I don't see a lot to do here. So we'll sit back and relax, and let's go back to we always find a few trades to put on. That obviously is up to you if you want to and you're comfortable putting them on. But at the end of the day, I think that you've witnessed and you've watched where we continue to put ourselves in the best position. And that's, again, all we're trying to do is play the highest amount of probability. And I think that's important to understand, okay, that we are trading nothing more than a probability model. So that has to be what you are overall looking at. So we've got some working orders. Nothing is filled as of yet. And we'll see if we can get some action here. Again, I don't know that we're going to get much. Could be a shorter day today because, again, there's no reason to. We know what we're working. We know what we're trying to do. But we'll stick around for another few minutes and see if anything develops. But it doesn't appear like we're going to see much here at the moment. So that is always, again, something to remember. But you are seeing we had everything was up earlier, and now you're mixed. So I think that this is a way to play it. But right now, I don't see a lot. We've gone through our stuff, but we'll stick around for another couple of minutes just to see if there's some action that develops. But I think what you're really seeing is I think you're seeing a bottom put in for the time being. Again, I don't call or predict tops and bottoms over a long period of time, but I think for the near term, we're seeing the markets attempting to put in a bottom. Okay. And that's usually it comes off of a pretty big sell, and there was a pretty big sell that we did see. So again, we'll be prepared for it. I'm not a big believer in trying to predict the long term, but I can certainly make a good case that we are seeing a potential bottom in the market here. And I think we will bottom here and get a pretty solid rally in the next couple of days. Again, I don't know that it'll be monstrous or tomorrow. I just think that it will be very large. I would expect the S&P to trade back up to 6,100. I'd expect the NASDAQ to trade back up to 22,000. So again, I'm expecting a pretty big rally, and certainly I would not be looking to short here other than for quick trades into a rally. But you can see there's very light and very little volume right now. So I want to make sure that, again, I don't like to step in just to get in. I think that's always a mistake when you look at the markets. But if we look at the orders we're working right now, we're selling put spreads at Monster, so put spreads in Microsoft. That's for today in the Qs. Put spreads put spreads in the SPY for today. Okay. So we've got a number of trades that we're working on. Okay. And I think that is, again, we're not going to force the action. We're not going to force trades. I think that's a mistake that too many people make, is they try to force a trade or force the action when there's really not action there. And I don't see anything to actively day trade. We've given what we think is the right trades for now. Okay. And I think that's it. You want to continue to work the probability model. And I think that's something that's important to make sure that you understand, is that all we're really doing is playing probability. Okay. And if you continue to do that and you always put yourself in the highest position of probability, I think you will find yourself a much happier person, okay, when you're trading, okay, because again, at least you're putting yourself on the right side of the trade. Again, it's not always going to work. Okay, that's one thing you want to be very clear. You're not always going to you're not always going to be correct. Okay, it's just that you want to make sure that you're always putting yourself in the highest position of probability. That really is the deal that you're trying to do. Okay, it comes down to, again, very much that simple. Okay, that now we're getting a nice little rally. So unfortunately, it looks like we didn't get filled on anything, but we still may, but you are getting the rally which we were looking for, and we could read that in the tape. We could read that in the longer term tape that we were definitely potentially making a bottom. Hold on 1 second for me. Hold on 1 second for me. So that is, again, something that we're always trying to keep our eyes on. Okay. So I think for today, there's nothing to do. We know what our plan is, and we'll see you back here on Tuesday. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks so much, and I'll see you later.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.